Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatin Raida. Today, I would like to talk about Ibn Khaldun. Previously, I wasn't aware of the fact that Ibn Khaldun is one of the greatest contributors to the history of economics. I only acknowledge him as an Islamic scholar like others, such as Ibn Sina, Imam Ghazali, Ibn Taymiyyah, etc. Even when I am taking the course of economics, I rarely stumble upon his name, as most of the reference materials I found are referring to Western economies. Obviously, like Adam Smith, who is well known for his Wealth of Nations, John Maynard Keynes, the Keynesian, and also Karl Marx, known for his the idea about capitalism and communism. What a shame being me have an Islamic education background since I was sick, but never ever I have an exposure about him. And even when I already know his name, why I never curious about him? That's enough chat. Who is actually Ibn Khaldun? For those who don't know him or maybe have little familiarity about him, let me say one important thing. He is one of the Islamic scholars who laid the foundation of many theories we find in contemporary literature of economics today. Yes, he preceded Adam Smith, Keynes, Ricardo, Malthus, and other famous Western economists. His theories include the doctrine of values, the division of labor, the price system, the law of supply and demand, consumption and production, money, capital formation, macroeconomics of taxes and public spending, and many more. Yeah, that's so much, right? Can you believe all of these theories are encompassed in his very famous book, which is the Muqaddimah? But in today's video, I'll just talk about his economic talk on labor. Before that, let me just briefly tell you his background. Ibn Khaldun was born in Tunis on 27 May 1332 and died on 17 March 1406 in Egypt. His life was full of ups and downs. He was once slandered, imprisoned, and exiled due to his active involvement in the politics and administrations. I aspire to be like him. Even with all the difficulties he faced, he still wanted to contribute for the benefits of people. Until in year 1377, the Muqaddimah was introduced to the history. Actually, it is a book that records the history of Arabs and Berbers people. Ibn Khaldun pointed out the mistakes made by his fellow historian, which affects the environment as a whole in the Muqaddimah. Okay, move on to the division of labor, which also closely related to specialization. According to Ibn Khaldun, labor is the absolute component required in a production process. Without labor, no production. He discussed the division of labor in three levels of economic activity, namely industry, society, and international level. He specifically talked about division of labor in the industry level through task distribution, where he said, to achieve efficient production, each stage of the production process should be performed by different people. Like example, in the Muqaddimah, the production of furniture consists of carving, molding, and assembling. Therefore, different hands should carry out these different tasks. With division of labor, quantity produced can be increased. At the same time, specialization can be developed and the quality of the product is improved. Meanwhile, in the society level, Ibn Khaldun analyzed there is a need of society cooperation in the process of production. This is because each production process is interdependent to each other. For instance, in the production of wheat, indeed, the laborers who involved directly with the wheat, like planting and harvesting, are essential. Nevertheless, the cooperation from the various occupations and fields such as carpenter and blacksmith, who in charge of creating the tools used in the wheat production process, also play a big role. Therefore, it is clear that mutual effort from the society in producing a commodity is highly needed, as there is correlation between all of that production. Last but not least, the division of labor at the international level. Ibn Khaldun explained when labor is involved in a production, more output can be produced, and it can be even greater than what a nation needs, which leads to an abundance of goods or surplus. This surplus can be channeled to international trade and generate more profits for the country. According to him, certain cities have craft that others lack, and this explains that every country can benefit from the international trade when they own surplus of goods. Furthermore, in his labor theory of value, Ibn Khaldun presented that the value of every commodity produced is incorporated with the quantity of labor and work. In other words, he referred labor as source of value. The price of a commodity is determined after taking into account the value of labor and other incurred costs. Higher number of labor leads to greater production and generate higher profit. As said by Ibn Khaldun, without labor, no gain will be obtained. This proves how important labor is in a production. Okay, I think that's all from me. I hope this video to some extent can give you an idea of who is this Ibn Khaldun and who should be the one that received the fame of division of labor. Before I end this video, I would like to thank Dr. Aslam Akbar who put great effort in making this class wonderful this semester. Without this course, I may be not exposed to the Islamic scholars and their contributions. And of course, great thanks for asking us to do this assignment because Alhamdulillah, now I can proudly tell to others that division of labor is not originally the work of Adam Smith. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.